Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, March 11th of 2023. Now I went into this week with a little bit something that was different because I had an opportunity with my husband to get out of town during most of this whole week and get some sunshine, get out of the snow, and it gave me some really deep opportunities to get some meditation and prayer in. Just full disconnection. I read a couple of great books, and I had these two moments when I was coming out of a meditation that I just had to pull out my journal and write a few things. So I wanted to share these with you, and I'm not exactly sure exactly what I'm going to say along with this, but I just felt compelled and guided to share these thoughts with you, because I believe that if you are a person who is not only tuning in to the frequencies and energies of what is happening for humanity on the planet right now, but you are a person who has been really seeking for deep spiritual growth and taking care of your physical body on a level that allows you to get the most out of being alive and present and fully being on this planet right now, because I think that this is a big piece of it. I think that if we're sick and unhealthy, and it might be something that's beyond our control, I realize that's a big thing for many people, but for most of us, even if you are sick, we have the ability to turn that around. So if you are one of those people who know that you could be healthier, I'm telling you, it will tune you in to so many things that are happening right now, and it will guide you. It'll guide you in the way that you're supposed to express your creativity, your passions, your purpose, and why you're here. And I think that, recently I just went through a fast, and it tunes you in to a whole different piece of yourself when you're not just consuming food. Because I think what happens for most of us is, maybe not all the time, but even every once in a while, we consume too much food, and it numbs us out to spiritual connected side of us, that piece of us that we know is who we're supposed to be on a really deep level. And I think that if we're paying attention to the health of this physical body, it connects us in and can help us live our purpose and get more guidance from the divine, right? So I had these 2 days, and I wrote, there are two different things. They're one page each, but every single sentence that just felt like was just kind of coming through me, I just wrote on paper. I just wrote this out, and I was like, holy moly. So I really just wanted to share this with you and see how this maybe resonates for where you are in your life. So this is what I feel for every single person who is tuned in and on a spiritual journey and aware of the huge things that are happening right now. And this is, I wrote this down in the first person. So I wrote this: your mission is about to get very, very big. Your health, wellness, and fitness is essential to this. Okay? I believe this is for every single person who understands what's happening. So your health, wellness, and fitness is essential to your mission. Every level of your life will be affected. Your relationships, all. Money, in a big way. Influence, in a big way. Self-care is of the utmost importance. It's important for us to not only disconnect, but get a massage, get a manicure, go on a nature walk, feed your body delicious green juice, give yourself this deep self-care, because it will tune you in so strongly to God, the Creator, that spiritual piece of us that is so necessary right now. So I'll read that part again. Self-care is of the utmost importance in every area of your life. You will have divine guidance. So we're all different. We all need self-care in different ways. But if you tune into that piece of you with all of these things, you're going to have divine guidance. You're going to get these downloads of information, answers to your prayers. That's what that is. Your life might look a little lonely compared to other times, but you will be far from lonely. Angels, spirit guides, and others will always be there. You know, you have angels, you have spirit guides. I believe this. And I believe that we're never really alone. And the times when we choose to disconnect ourselves physically from the presence of other people is really important. And even then, we know that we are surrounded by so much loving guidance that it's okay to have relationships that maybe no longer serve you disconnect from your life. It's so good. It's actually so good. So angels, spirit guides, and others will always be there. Always. Have peace. Have peace. Be in the Tao. So be neutral. Let things just, go. Flow like water and radiate love. So that's the first one. And after I wrote that, I put my pen down and I was just like, oh, wow. Whew. Like it felt so big. I was just like, whew. Okay, so maybe since it's so short, let me just start from the top on how this flowed out for me. This literally came out of my pen in about 60 seconds, this whole page. Your mission is about to get big, very big. Your health, wellness, and fitness is essential to this. Every area of your life will be affected. Relationships, all. Money, in a big way. Influence, in a big way. Self-care is of the utmost importance in every area of your life. You will have divine guidance. Your life might look a little lonely compared to other times. You will be far from lonely. Angels, spirit guides, and others will always be there. Always. Have peace, be in the Tao, flow like water, and radiate love. Oh, wow, right? That was such a beautiful meditation. And it was only, honestly, me listening that there was something about to come through as I was just sitting in a quiet space. And I was just, meditating doesn't have to be so hard, or it doesn't have to be where your mind doesn't have thoughts, or it's quiet everywhere, or you're out in nature, you're in a spot where everyone else is meditating. Meditating, you can be in a quiet space in your mind in a super crowded place where there's lots of people and lots of hustle and bustle going on. You can literally go into a meditative state and just calm your mind and be like water. Just be in the flow. Like this was, I read that every single day since I wrote that down because I was just like, that is so amazing. Okay, now the second one, again, the same thing. I was just sitting in the sunshine on this little unexpected getaway that my husband and I had this week, and the sun, first of all, felt like sheer heaven because we've had a long cold winter here in Utah, and even though we've had a lot of sunny days, it's hard to get out and soak up the sun and have it be warm because it's still cold. It might just be sunny and super cold. So this was just one of those moments when my physical body was so relaxed and so soaking up the warmth of the sunshine that I had the same thing happen. Okay, so and I think what I might do is just read this and then maybe give any inputs that I feel like might be prompted after that. So again, this one came through in about 30 seconds, and I was just like, right, and it was like, okay, wow. Okay, so do art. Keep doing inspired art. Nurture the purpose of your team. Keep doing your Sunday messages of love. Everything is healing. Everything. Eat clean, nothing artificial. Listen. You will hear everything you need to hear. You are being guided now more than ever. It's going to be okay. It might get uncomfortable. It's supposed to. Be calm. Just be. Just be. You don't need to fix anything or anyone. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to. I was just like, okay, this is exactly the message that I personally needed to hear. And I think one of the main reasons I felt really compelled to share this with you is because I know that collectively we're going through some really big things for humanity. But individually, we all have this divine purpose, and we have this amazing gift that we have not only to share, but to be here and experience. We need to laugh more. We need to find so much joy in our daily life that we can hardly stand ourselves, right? Look at the things that maybe trigger you, or maybe someone annoys you. Maybe you get annoyed by the things that people do in traffic. Pay attention to these moments that are less than what your true self is. And really listen to the promptings of the Spirit, of God, of the Creator. Listen. You'll always get divine guidance. So I'm going to end this, and I'm just going to read through this one more time because, I just really think that we're here to do some important work, and if we're full of fear on any side of the spectrum, we can't do what we came here for, which is to radiate love. We can't do that if we're in fear of being sick, getting a virus, if we're in fear of what the government's doing, or in fear of what the world's doing, or either way, fear looks like fear. It doesn't matter where your fear comes from. So I'm going to read this again, and I want you to envision what this might mean for you in your life. Like when I say nurture the purpose of your team, that might mean nurture the purpose of your family. Your family is your team, right? Okay, so do art. Keep doing inspired art. Nurture the purpose of your team. Keep doing your Sunday messages of love. Everything is healing. Everything. Eat clean, nothing artificial. Listen. You will hear everything you need to hear. You are being guided now more than ever. It is going to be okay. It might get uncomfortable. It's supposed to. Be calm. Just be. Just be. You don't need to fix anything or anyone. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to. So I hope that there's something in there that resonated with you. And here's the thing. Get yourself a blank journal, a blank notebook. Practice getting into a quiet space and write down these thoughts that come through to you. Because I have been doing this for a long, long time, and anytime I go back and I read the things that I've written, they always re-inspire me. So we think, in fact, I've had things where I've had thoughts come in, really powerful messages have come in, and I don't get up and write it down, and I wish every time that I would have, because it feels so impactful when it's happening. And when I get that thought, it feels so powerful. I think to myself, there's no way I'm going to forget this. But that's not how it works. You need to write these things down. Keep them in a place where you can go back and read these things again, re-inspire yourself, and maybe even move these messages to inspire someone else, someone that's close to you, someone that's in your circle. And it will make a huge difference in your life. There's a reason that you've been hearing forever, especially if you're a personal development person. Keep a journal. Keep a journal. Keep a journal. And I have been encouraged to do this as a little girl. And I will tell you, I have diaries and journals, and they were very different than they are now. The ones that I've done in the past were more a little mundane, if you will, what I did that day, who made me upset during that day. And that's pretty normal, especially when you're young. You're really young, before you graduate from schools and you're a preschooler, a grade schooler, or you're in junior high. We all know how much angst happens in junior high and high school, right? And, I had a lot of angst as a new mother, and, the things that I get inspired and motivated by, and these divine messages from God that come through to me are very, very different than the ones that I would write down before, because these were really just what was happening in my life and the emotions that I was having and the emotions I needed to get out. And sometimes that can be very freeing and really good too. So I hope your day is beautiful. March 11th, Sunday, March 11th. What an amazing, amazing time to be alive. So I thank you so much for your connection. I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have the most amazing Sunday, a beautiful, beautiful week ahead, and we will see you next time.